steak gave you an upset stomach, why would you order it again 2 more times? This is not the place to take out your frustration on something non-related to business. Your name is the same as it is on the police report. Well, that's embarrassing. So, DUI, and that's why you're mad. You came on here to try to ruin their business with a bad review. So you're just like a special kind of awful. Of course, we got another 1-star review. Are you shocked? Because I'm not shocked. We have a 1-star review that just simply says, gross, would not recommend. Some bed sheets, some mermaid. From far, they kind of look like little pieces of shrimp. All right, it says, I am actually over the representation. You can take your overweight and overly ethnic mermaids and shove it. Well, you seem like a lovely lady. I'll take my business and spend triple to Pottery Barn, who actually has some taste on representation. Done with you, Target. Looks like you're really catering to those stimulus checks. Well, when those end, good luck. You're not getting my business anymore. And it's signed Pissed Mom. The fact that you're a mom worries me. Is this the lesson that you're teaching your children? Great. I actually had a teacher comment on my video the other day. It was a woman, and she said something not very kind. And I was like, I feel like I've seen her on my page before. So she just suddenly turned on me. So I went to look. It was on Facebook. So I clicked her Facebook page. She's a teacher, elementary school. Great. Are you going to teach your students kindness? Because that would be great. Tonight we are very sad and are closing early. We have had an individual call back numerous times asking for a topping that we reserve for our specialty pizzas. This caller has now tied up our phone line several times and talked to both owners, but will not accept that we have a list of topping options. Our menu and our food order go hand in hand. We are sorry to our customers who have not been able to get through and to our customers whose orders came out late due to this individual holding our entire store up. Well, that's when you just hang up the phone. As our loyal customers know, the owners are always in the building. We consider these teens to be our own kids. To see this take place and our kids rattled makes us very upset. Sorry, there is no positive way to spin tonight. We will be back here tomorrow with the same menu, doing what we love and working hard to make our dreams come true. Aww. Thank you all for your loyal support. Even when we are sad, we never forget how abundantly blessed we are every day. Oh, I wish I knew your company name. That's like the cutest thing ever. I want to know what this topping was. What topping is that significant and that important? Unless you're like putting Miley Cyrus's hair on the pizza, like I don't. To the people that think those foot-high yellow things in your yards are flowers, think again. They are weeds and your yards are unsightly. Please be considerate of your neighbors. We must be talking about, the classic dandelion. I'm not a homeowner, okay, condo life over here, but I don't mind dandelions. They're yellow. They kind of look like little flowers to me. I understand they're weeds and it'll affect your lawn, but it's not your lawn. So if you're just looking and there's dandelions, like they're just little pretty pops of yellow. That's how I see it. Am I just not getting it because I don't own a house? But I can't imagine myself giving a flying to someone having dandelions on their front yard. Like, why would I care? I need to do a little lip touch up. They are as dry as it comes. Back in biz. Good afternoon, ladies. What can I start you off with today? Coffee, cocktails, the manager. Oh my god, they all have the matching Karen haircut. Well, except for one of them. And then a Karen wrote, "This is not funny." Angry face. It is funny, Karen. It's okay to laugh. Those ladies could be so lovely and so sweet. The whole Karen haircut thing is a meme. It's silly. I will be the new Karen. I will take it. Put it on my shoulders. I will take the responsibility. Karen is the new Jocelyn, okay? I'm not gonna cry about it. Alright, y'all. I am getting out of here. That is enough Karens for me today, alright? Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh yes, indeed. Very interesting spells. How to give frog gigantic Oh, hello there. Welcome to my shop, dear adventurer. What can I interest you in today? Oh, you're gearing up your party, are you? Well, I have amazing things, weapons and spells. Do you see yourself more as a swords person? Or perhaps I can intrigue you with a bit more of a automatic carbine. Hmm? Or spellbooks that make frogs grow boobs. This is unhinged. What is my job, man? We also sell pets. Link available in the description permanently now. Mwah. Man, the light is really beautiful because it's actually sunny for the first time for like 6 months in Sweden. So we'll see when the sun sets and I'm just sitting here in absolute darkness. Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses. Welcome to the podcast. Absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Today we're doing something I have been looking forward to for quite a while. We're looking at D&D memes and everything that comes with RPG games and adventures and quirky parties. It's so good. I've been playing way too much D&D with my friends in recent times, so I have some juicy stories to share, some juicy memes to share, and I'll probably brag a bit about my own adventures as well, because this seems the perfect time to do so. Enjoy. Mwah. And remember to pick up your own magic follower pet in the description, yes indeed. Mwah. But please don't advertise in your places never. Should.
You don't need to go inside your person.
First, we have to make you a character. Pick a race. Should be like Asian? Can you imagine that? Just D&D, but everything is like real. Oh no, that'll be so uncomfortable. No, that's so uncomfortable. I mean, some of the races are of course inspired by mythology from various regions. I mean, dwarves are typically quite the Scottish, for example. Druids sometimes have red hair because I believe that's where the mythology comes from, those regions like Irish mythology and Welsh and that kind of stuff, and places where red hair would be very common. So in some
To
ways,
embarrass you
makes sense
slightly.
and has inspiration from reality, but man, that would be uncomfortable.
Mm,
Who would win? An
sure.
ancient red dragon or F-35 Lightning II? I suppose it depends. Do the missiles count as fire damage? In that case, it's probably immune. As like blunt damage or something like that at
You
first. In that case, I think the dragon would just blow up. Who would win? One rat swarm, 24 HP, or 24 rats, 24 HP? Today we're asking the important questions. I just feel like this could be a surprise encounter. You open a box of food or something and it's just a swarm of rats. Ooh, good.
be right back.
A paladin with 17 charisma, seducing more things than the bard. Bard, can I see your holy texts? Paladin, pray boy.
Like, well,
Yes, indeed, how to get down in prayer with your friends.
it's too late. I've already done it.
Oh, there, little heathen, come along to my bedchambers and we will pray together. What's that? I'm not wearing pants. The prayers work better when your entire body can work as a conduit to the great Lord. Conduit to my ass. Amatus. Just a reminder, if you like this, you must also be okay with this. Both is good. This actually reminded me, I'm gonna implement 2 unique shops in my ongoing D&D adventure. One is gonna be a shop where you can buy additional pieces for a flying airship my party has acquired, which is gonna be super cute because they can customize it all like sim stuff, and they're gonna have pets in there and storages and like bubble baths, and it's gonna be beautiful. And the other thing is gonna be a bikini armor shop, and the scampier something is, the higher armor rating it's going to offer, and the most supreme one is going to be like a magnetic bikini armor or something. So it doesn't matter if it covers everything, because everything just goes away from you because magnetism. it's gonna be so good. I imagine the final tier of armor for the male character is just gonna be like one sock, and that's it. You can use your imagination to where that sock would fit. You claim that an F-35 Lightning II could beat me, but the original meme never explicitly specified that the jet had a pilot. Ergo, raw, the only real way to play. I melt this stationary hunk of metal. Checkmate, artificers. I'm I mean, it's kind of fair, though. Is the plane already, like, flying and far enough away to fire missiles, or is it just sitting on the ground waiting for its turn to lift off? Because in that case, it would just get flomped and chomped. There's so much context to this that is missing. Discuss in the comments, please. Engagement? Here I come. Be a level 1 creature with 4 HP. Get summoned by a level 2 character saying that you need to carry a barrel of inflammable products to a room filled with spiders. Do the job and get engulfed by an explosion. 6d6 fire damage, reflex DC 20. Have an insane reflex for your level, +8, and pass the save, taking half damage. Have resistance 5 to fire damage. Kill all the spiders and survive with 1 HP. Comes back from the suicide mission. Skeleton guard, oh yes indeed. This is so beautiful though, I love this. Oh my god, that's so creative. This is why I love D&D, and it varies so much depending on who you play with. My favorite combination is always when you have a party that's like 70% serious, but they still muck around just enough to create the funny situations. That's like the best combination. You versus the druid he tells you not to worry about. Oh my god. To be fair, we can we can all shapeshift together, and everyone is just gonna be happy, so to say. Oh, is that like a thing people do in D&D adventures? If they're into each other and they're like, sorry, you're not really my type, and then they just shift into something else, and they're like, damn, I'm down with that. This this seems like it would go nuts in the furry party. Not that I know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I've just seen that word around, and I'm just trying to sound cool for the kids. Thieves Canned Comics presents the type of metagaming. Standard. Alright, we're headed to a troll canyon. Make sure you can do fire damage. Helpful. I got a 16. Its AC is either a 13 or 14, so I deal 34 damage. Incorrect. That zombie bits you. It's only a matter of time before you turn. Psychopathic. Call it whatever you want, but children don't live on the 8th floor of Mega Dungeons. That's our vampire. Stake her! Just to be safe, we stake all of the children. I feel that could be a very like Warhammer 40k inspired campaign, when it's just a team of paladins that are like super uber righteous, and if there's one little corrupt demon or something in a town, they just purge the entire town just to make sure no one else is.
I'm still died.
This could be a campaign. It would get really dark really quick though. Like, no offense to my friends and family, but if I had a chance to abandon this time
Until I properly come back to be alive.
I would absolutely do it. Goodbye, student loans and depression. Hello, cool magic, shite, and most likely an early death by the sword, as it should be. You will? Have fun stinging outhouses and losing loved ones to the plague, trademark. Oh, medieval fantasy, not actual medieval times, you impudent fool. Have fun crapping in outhouses and losing loved ones to the goblin raiders, trademark. Well, that's more like it. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think I would really miss my shower after about, 3 days of walking around in the mud. Like having guts sprayed all over you when you stab countless little things to death. It will get really gross real quick, unless you have like some kind of cleaning spell. Then I'm more down with this. If you have spells that just makes up for like healthcare and and basic hygiene, then you're all set. Then it would be pretty good overall. And then you like have a lifespan of about 3 years average until you get eaten by a dragon or something. I'm fine with that. That's actually a good question for the comments. If you could move to any kind of universe you would like and have some kind of catch that actually made it comfortable, which universe would you move to? Like a medieval universe where you had spells for like healthcare and cleanliness, for example, or a zombie apocalypse universe where you had like something that would give you equivalent things where you wouldn't have to worry about sickness or like dirtiness or anything like that. Like, which universe would you go to if you could just somehow magically, in this case it works, cancel out all the nasty stuff that would normally make it not so enjoyable? Let me know. I'm interested to hear the replies. Engine whacking people with his loot. His official freaking stat block. Reinforced loot. Melee weapon attack. +5 to hit. Reach 5 feet. One target hit 6. 1d8 +2. Bludgeoning damage +11. 2d10 thunder damage. Wait, does that mean it's infused with lightning? Or does it just mean that it does more damage because it's loud when you punch things with it? It does like a gagoing that just hurts people more than the actual impact. I need to make more Gagong weapons in my campaigns. This is amazing. The fighter's player. Fuck the monarchy! No one should rule by birthright! I attack the king! The king, whose bloodline was literally blessed by the kingdom's patron deity, received additional blessings from said deity when he was officially crowned king, and regularly trains with the kingdom's elite paladins in case something like this happens. Ting! Nice knife. Yeah, I think like in a universe where gods are kind of real and you have a king that is blessed by their god, you should probably think twice before trying to stab them, you know? I don't see that ending well. Government hiring the party because they're stronger than their soldiers. Government hiring the party to maintain plausible deniability. I suppose it depends on the quest as well. I think my favorite quest I've done so far, I mean apart from main quest, which is like the silliest made-up stuff I made in the moment, was in the city, in actually the campaign I'm running now in the main capital. There is a barracks and an archery range across the road from each other. And the soldiers in both of these places have a bit of a rivalry between each other. You know, it's like two rival high schools, basically. So first, the players went to the barracks, and they said, here's a carton of eggs. If you egg the archery range in the middle of the night, we'll give you 10 gold. And then the players went to the archery range, and they said, here's a carton of eggs. If you egg the barracks, we'll give you 10 gold. So of course the players egged both the places, but only used one carton to do so, because now they had a lot of eggs. So they could keep some of the eggs for feeding themselves on their next journey, and also cashed in double gold. And then they fled the town before the guards figured out what they had actually done. I love coming up with like small bullshit missions. It's so fun. But yeah, I know, lizard folk don't have bobs. I get it.
It's okay, we do. Just don't tell everyone. It makes some people mad. Blushes.
The lack of snipples is anatomically interesting. They are retractable and potentially poisonous. Do what you will with that information. Oh, wait a second. So if I, hypothetically, create a lizard rogue with retractable poisonous snipples, you can literally seduce people and just, like, kill them when you take your shirts off. This is so... oh my god! This feels very homebrewy, but I'm very down with it. Poison boobs. Hell yeah. My rolls out of combat, so it's so smooth. My rolls during combat. Man, I feel this. I had an adventure recently where one of our party mates was like a field medic. It was a bit of a homebrew kind of class. And I got an arrow in my knee in true Skyrim fashion, and instead of pulling the arrow out, they rolled a critical one, and I lost my leg. Then I got a stab in my other leg, and they rolled a critical one again, so I lost my leg. So I replaced my legs with a bicycle wheel and a sledge. So I was like, you know, on one foot on a wheel, and then like moving my way forward with a sledgehammer, and then using that as a weapon to smash people. And then the party got wiped, because in this homebrew we were so underpowered. And tried to attack two guards, and we just got party wiped. They shot 2 arrows and everyone died. We sucked so bad. Oh my god. D&D with non-native English speakers. DM, the door is ajar. How is the door ajar? Oh, it's slightly open. Oh, I climb into the jar. No. You start in a tavern, counting out 5,000 gold from your last quest. Drinks on me! Later.
The toll for crossing my bridge is 5,000 gold. Oh, that's all.
Then you just stab the troll, and you have like 4,000 gold left, or however much you drank, and you also get to pass the bridge. But yeah, I have learned that stuff like this is way better to improvise, because the players never catch on to it, honestly. It's just, no. It's that kind of thing where you ask, like, how much gold do you have? Oh, we have 500. It's 500 across the bridge. You know, it's that kind of vibe. Are you alright, fair lady?
Yes, thank you.
Angie? Angela? Hello? Earth calling Angie?
She's been like this since Mark promised he would play with us from time to time.
Did you manage to finish your character? Oh yeah, not sure how it will work out, but I tried to make him endearing and fun.
Enthusiastic nodding!
Just as you prepare to leave the tavern, the doors swing open, and a towering fur-balled barbarian squeezes through the doorframe. The jovial giant appears to seek a party to join on another adventure.
so much for D&D love interests. Oh, heck yeah. This is from Tales from the Tables, episode 26, Expectations. It's so good. I feel like this has happened to people more often than you might think, honestly, where it's like, ooh, there's a little bit of spice across the table, and you try to spice it up, but someone always picks a character that's just completely incompatible, and it just gets really weird really fast. Hey, DM, what inspired you to make this campaign? Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit, Harry Potter, Narnia, Conan, older D&D modules, HOM 3, Warhammer. So I was reading this historical document. But that's kind of a vibe, though. One day I would love to make a really dark campaign. The one I'm working on right now is called Shangiria, which is really fun. It's more like a lighthearted adventure that has a few like ties across the map and stuff, a few hidden conspiracies, different factions. It had a massive trade route, the West India trade route that goes out, and then it goes to the Acer Forge, which is pretty cool. It's like dwarves that use cold instead of heat to forge special weapons, which are a key in the main campaign, like how to break through certain barriers and stuff, and they have armor penetration abilities because they're so sharp. Think like super dwarven obsidian, basically. That's what it is. And then the dwarves also have another forge, which is Crimson Forge, where they use a volcano to melt metal that normally wouldn't be meltable. Very cool. Wonderful oases are just high all the time. Very good place to sell drugs. The universe is constantly expanding. Hell yeah. DM. It appears you have to wade across this river. It's about 5 feet deep and 60 feet across. Everyone roll a perception check before you start. Party, everyone but fighter fails. DM. Okay, Jill, roll me a wisdom check. 6. You see a sign on the bank, but you interpret it to mean there are no predators in the water. Cocked eyebrow. Jill, what did the sign say? Crocodiles do not swim here. When commas are really important. Don't worry, guys. It said there are no crocodiles swimming here. Don't worry. We're fine. We're fine. Let's go. Let's go in. This is so perfect. Dreadhelm. Wondrous item. Common. This fearsome steel helm makes your eyes glow red when you wear it. It looks like it certainly belongs in some sort of dungeon. What kind of dungeon might you ask? Yes, indeed. I need to do that too, honestly. I just need to have a side adventure at some point where they go into a dungeon and it just turns out to be like an orgy cult. And then the players can choose if they want to eradicate it or if they want to join in. Probably depends on the purity level of the team. It's going to be an interesting combo with the paladins and rogues.
Hello, human. My name is Loth. I have recently moved into town. I have been told humans show their teeth to each other as a sign of friendship and to reassure one another. Am I doing it right? Are you feeling relaxed and reassured? Hey? Are you...
Man, that's just wholesome and cute, isn't it? That is beautiful. I appreciate this. At least they're trying. This is how I feel when I try to fit in with a group of friends or something. This hits very close to home, doesn't it? The official damage types in 5e D&D. D&D 5e damage types: slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, cold, poison, acid, psychic, fire, necrotic, radiant, force, blueberry, thunder. Oh, lightning. Yes, I guess thunder is just noise. I guess it makes sense, like when you smack people with instruments and stuff. The noise just scrambles your brain a bit. I'm a little bit concerned what the blueberry means, though. What does the blueberry mean? It's Greg, our missing party member. Open the gate! He's being chased by giants. Close the gate! Greg is a dwarf. Open the gate! Just a little! That is so nice. Oh my god. Wait, it's the entire party are dwarves. Can you build gates and fortifications and houses so only dwarves can fit through it? And if they're attacked by, for example, giants or trolls, they literally cannot, like, get into the fort. That is so good. Oh my god, that's so good. Ooh, I'm gonna implement that, because I haven't actually constructed the forge settlements yet in my adventure. I think I'll do it so most entryways and stuff are just dwarven sized. So all party members have to, like, crawl through it unless they're very tiny themselves. So if there's any fighting or something in those halls, they are at a disadvantage because they can't stand fully and they get stuck when trying to swing their weapons and stuff. That is, that's kind of a cool twist of, like, dwarven strongholds. It's just small and cramped so regular armies can't really fit to fight effectively. That is really smart. I'm gonna use this. When the DM sets a scene, the party.
I am a little quiet angel.
when the GM monologues as the BBEG. I cast fireball!
Have that ass, or give me that ass, big boy!
The dream party, at least they're enthusiastic. POV, the DM is sick of your high AC build.
Oh, yes. All the rolls. All the rolls. Statistically speaking, you're not going to survive this. No. No. Hell no.
Blushing? Don't tell me it's a female vampire. Oh my lord. She might have the tit, but infant children she bit. Van Helsing before staking Lucy. Ooh, that's a good quote. Hell yeah, that's a really good quote. Nice. Oh, she needs to be staked hard. Okay, no. No. This is getting cursed very quickly. You know what's not cool, Bobby? Bullying one of the best tabletop content creators till they quit. Oh, is this about JoeCat? That was so heckin' sad. JoeCat even made plushies with makeshift that were really cute, like the goblin plushies. They were so nice. What happened about that was so absolutely ridiculous. They made a little video animation of like the girls they liked, and I think it was titled "I'm Gay for Girls." And it was like a kind of flamboyant way of saying like what kind of women he likes, which is like all of them. It was very like body positive and kind of a cute animation. And they got bullied for it. It's absolutely insane. I just don't get it. Out of all the things to throw hate at online, that's what you choose? A silly animation? People online suck, man. Like, I don't know if it's just me being old, but something about the internet is feeling more and more hostile over the last few years. Like, I don't know if it's just me that I'm more exposed to a wider community and stuff nowadays, and I'm just not in my own little bubble anymore, but man, some stuff just blows my mind. That people actually engage with these sort of things is kind of alien to me. It's absolutely wild. I really hope JoeCat is doing well. No one deserves that kind of shit. It's absolutely atrocious. GMs writing literal masterpieces for the law of their world that only 46 people will be able to read. I mean, that's kind of why I talk about my world building in these videos, because it feels very satisfying when you spend like hours and hours and weeks constructing these things, and then there's only your 4 drunk friends that ever engage with it. But it's really fun to retell in videos and stuff as stories, because then you experience it with your friends, and then that creates like a storyline and really cool things. And I have a lot of stories like that from adventures I've played with friends or played for friends, and it's absolutely amazing. And I think that's a good way of seeing it. Like, you create the adventure together, but you just write the world around it. Why I use candy for enemy minis? You didn't put candy down for the map for this NPC. That's right. So I won't get candy if I kill them? That's right. It's like positive reinforcement. If it's an enemy, they are a candy, so you can eat it when they die. If it's a friendly NPC, like a merchant or something, it's not a candy, so you don't get a candy if you kill this innocent NPC. Ooh, I might use this. This is really smart. DM prepares detailed backstories and purpose for everything and everyone in a meticulously handcrafted world for the players to interact with. The party. Chaos flame. The world shall burn and blend yet again into one. That was actually the first ending I ever got in Elden Ring, completely by mistake. It was like, ooh, what is this cool hole? Oh, it gave me glowing eyes. How badass. And then I went and killed the final boss and be like, oops, the world seems to have melted. Yeah, I don't know. My friend looked at me weird when I said that, and they were like, fam, I think you have some issues. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That makes me interesting. r/XD #quirky. The DM, stealth is optional for this mission. Me and the party. What is this movie? Everything is made of cardboard. Why do I feel like this is me in any RPG game? This reminds me so much of the first time I played Skyrim, and I was doing the College of Winterhold questline, you know, the mage stuff, but I was already a super buff, like, double sword-handed build who was just armored to the teeth. I didn't cast a single spell in the entire mission. I remember when I got a mage coming up to me like, you have no chance against me. Stab, and just split him in half right away. I am the best mage ever. Archmage? I haven't cast a single spell in my entire playthrough. What do you mean, Archmage? I feel like this very much also applies to, like, Helldivers. Oh my god, I'm way too addicted to that game. It's so good, man. It's so good. The Dungeons and Dragon question. What's a more dangerous character to
Easy answer. True neutral. Those players and their characters fucking scare me.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because they just do whatever they want. They don't care. They don't have any motivators. They're completely unpredictable. Like, lawful evil would be a very structured evil character. Like, they're scheming and stuff. They're very, like, meticulous, you know, like an engineer or, like, you know, a master villain, that kind of thing. Chaotic evil is just a hyper sadist that just wants to see everything suffer and burn. So, it depends, I suppose. Do you want a calculating villain or an insane villain? Or just true neutral, who doesn't care about anything? Vampire-powered piston engine, holy water and blood. Holy water is squirted into the piston well. Vampire collapses into a pile of dust, piston goes down. Blood is squirted into piston well, vampire regenerates, pushing piston up. Repeat. Holy water and blood are universally available, renewable, and environmentally friendly substances. This makes the vampire engine an unmatched source of cheap green power. Don't you mean red power? Got him. And since vampires are cursed by God, they can theoretically be used forever. God's wrath is infinite. Although a vampire engine is too large to fit in moving vehicles, they are perfect medium-sized power plants for towns and factories. I think you can probably fit one on a ship. Maybe I'll have this in that airship shop I'm planning to have for my players on their next adventure, so they can install a propeller engine and not only rely on sails, and it's powered by a vampire piston. So the only thing they have to do is catch a vampire. Oh, that is so good. At least these annoying parasites come in useful. Note that in engines using multiple vampires, the rates of collapse and regeneration must be closely matched to avoid piston knock. Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe you can use like one big piston and multiple vampires in one. That might also actually work if you just count in the force, so to say. How to set difficulty classes in a game of D&D. DC 0, simple task, no real chance of failure. DC 10, good chance of success. DC 15, tough task. DC 20, really super hard. DC 25, players didn't bring snacks for the DM. DC 30, keeping a job at Wizards of the Coast. Whoops! Come to Dungeon Meshi. We have Urban Elf. Doesn't really care about nature that much. Nature Dwarf cares a lot about ecosystem, has no interest in blacksmithing. I mean, one of the episodes is literally about how he doesn't sharpen his axe, and he used the adamantium for his cooking pot instead. I love the characters in this anime, it's so good. Halfling rogue who actually feels bad about stealing from someone else. Blonde generic human fighter, trademark, and yet the weirdest person in the group. The healer, dead since episode 1. Somehow, this just encapsulates the spirit of every D&D party I have ever had. It's just a complete mess. That rogue thing really strikes a nerve. I've noticed that role-playing as characters who like go too hard against who you are as a person is really difficult. I remember we had an adventure where we would like purposefully scramble characters. It was like a one-shot side mission kind of thing where you like brain swap or something like that. And people woke up in different bodies and different characters, which was super hard because all of a sudden one of my like quite kind of introverted friends were playing as a super flirtatious charisma elf girl. And it just didn't work out. They were just having like a crisis the entire match. So yeah, nah, it's good that people choose their own characters. I have been experimenting with that stuff, and it usually doesn't work that well. Sometimes it can be fun, but it's very unlikely that the whole group is going to be comfortable enough, unless they're drunk enough, then it might work. Double checking if 1:30 to 4:30 would work for folks tomorrow before I confirm sitter. Good for me. Me too. Oh yeah, it's good for us. Every participant in a D&D game confirms availability remotely in less than a minute. We should stop to appreciate the beauty of this moment, as it will never happen again. Going to post this on the D&D subreddit and harvest thousands of upvotes and turn them directly into dopamine. That is beautiful, though. To this day, I don't think I've actually managed... Oh, no, actually one exception. Once, in the past roughly 5 years, I've managed to get the entire group chat together for an adventure. Because everyone is adults and 30 plus now, and everyone has jobs or kids or whatever, so what we have started doing is that as long as most people can show up, we still make it happen. Because that's the way to like keep it cycling and not cancel every single time. Because if you have a decently large group, it's almost impossible that everyone will join every time. So it sort of works. One time a guy even joined on Zoom. It worked out so-so. Hi Billy, this is someone who played D&D before the year 2000.
Oh, we thought about encounters in practical terms and tracked our resources.
I rolled investigation
navigation and survival checks to do the adventuring for me. Text me when it's my turn in combat. Don't, bitch! Ah! Oh, God! The desecration of the holy texts.
I have had and seen players who, when presented with an area to investigate or a person to talk to, would just say, I roll investigation/persuasion with no follow-up at all, like on how or what they would say, or even a theme of dialogue. Sure, you can do that in a way, but it's the most boring way you could play D&D. I have encountered this a couple of times as a DM, and the way I have solved it is that I need the player to solve two things. The role is basically how well they convince the world they're in of what they're doing. You know, how well their compliment lands, or how well their seduction lands, or whatever. And then they have to convince me, the dungeon master, that this is doable. And that's what they do with the voice line. If you're gonna flirt with the person in the bar, you need to actually say the voice line, you know? Or if you're gonna ask the king to hand over the crown of the kingdom for no reason, you still have to, you know, say it. But if it's too outrageous, it doesn't matter how high you roll. You know, you could be the most charismatic person in the world, no one is gonna hand over their crown just like that, just because you're charismatic, you know? So it's like, it's a two-dimensional convincing system. One part is convincing the DM with the actual lines you're using and the context, and the other thing is simply rolling a die for the randomizer and the stats. The DM. And what's the most important thing of being a bard? Consent? Rules? Lawyer? This is good. This is progress. When you roll a nat 20, but the DM say, it doesn't hit, well, frick. No one. Artificers, arrowhead of total destruction. Metal retainer safety pin, remove before using weapon. Metal cage to hold tube and bag. Small bag of holding. Wait, is this going where I think it is? Arrow shaft. Portable hole. Wooden retainer stick. Penetrates cage, staves, and tube. Holds tubes in place. Breaks when tubes strike surface. Operation. Arrow is fired at any surface or object. Aim is unimportant as long as arrow hits within 10 feet of target. When arrow strikes a surface, the tube containing a portable hole is forced into the bag of holding, and the device self-destructs as it opens a rift in the astral plane and sucks anything within 10 feet into the rift. Is this just a black hole arrow? It's just a black hole arrow, isn't it? Destroying an entire 10-foot radius sphere around the point of impact. Made by Alex. This is so good. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to homebrewing stuff. It can just get to such ridiculous conclusions, which I kind of like because it's still following the D&D logic. That's something I've always appreciated. Someone being like, oh, I do this impossible thing just because in high roll is kind of boring. But if you actually think something through, and you manage to literally engineer something within the rules of the books, ooh, there's just some part of my engineering brain that tingles. Okay, I'll just confess my feelings to her directly. Persuasion check, 1. Critical failure. My dear Friedrun, I love you, and I ask you to be with me.
Of course you do. I'm the best mate out there, and I'm already with you, aren't I?
Sob! Barbarian. I have died too many times. Now I'm not naming any names. Cleric who healed over 400 hit points of damage today? There is a limit to how much you can do. Okay? The party stands at the crossroads and decide which of the two towns they want to go to. But they only have the illusion of choice since I have prepared only one town for this session. Players decide to split up and visit both towns. Players decide to split up and visit both towns? Oh, no. Don't split up the party. Don't split up the party. I remember when we did this. Too bad. One time. I wasn't the dungeon master, luckily. One of my friends were. The party split in half once, and then one of the halves split in half again. So there were like 3 different party sections running around. So the DM just started wiping us out until we came back together. I think I blew up inside of a house, which was a little bit self-inflicted, perhaps. But it was just like, no, if you venture too far from the group, things start happening. Get back together and be friends. A couple of really good rules I have learned when I do dungeon mastering is don't split up the party. That's a really good rule. Another rule, if you're just starting to make adventures, make it a one-shot as your first time as a dungeon master, and make the area limited. I think one of the first adventures I ever made completely on my own was the party was stranded on an island as a one-shot adventure, and the mission was to find an escape away from it. And it turns out the island was cursed. There was like an old overlord on this island, and everyone seemed young, but that's because the overlord had a curse where he stole the life force from the other people living on the island when they reached a certain age. So there was no one above the age of
Finally
30
properly
on the
back.
island, which looks really odd at first. into the
Yeah.
ocean, and there was like a floating ship
Got
that was
myself.
stuck on a mountaintop because that's when the
Maybe.
curse had first originated. So having like small limited adventures like that is good
Maybe
because
not.
players can't just wander off. It's like no, it's the end of the map literally. So that's a really good way of doing it. Limit how much trickery
Maybe you
they
just
can
need
do.
to be
Noble
something
paladin with
that you
lovingly
make me
written
come back to
8-page
life then.
backstory dies 20 minutes into adventure. Noble paladin with lovingly written 8-page sibling revenge backstory joins adventure 20 minutes later. It's like, oh, my character I put a lot of love into died. Say hello to my character's twin, baby.
Dear dwarves, it seems I was too rude when communicating with you. Let me settle this confusion with a cold bottle of beer.
This beer has a strange taste.
Of course, it's non-alcoholic.
Was that on purpose? I think it's on purpose. Oh, God.
Me? I tried to seduce the dragon.
The Dungeon Master, how would you even do that?
Me?
Oh, yeah, that is very smexual indeed. Oh my god, yes, this is some real seduction. I like how the dragon is just one single frame. God, I feel this every time I'm trying to seduce stuff in D&D games. This is exactly how I pictured. I seduced them, and then you do your silly thing for seduction while the enemy's just staring at you like... Alright, are they done? Alright, fine. Stab! Or in this case, munch, I suppose. I see you furries out there. I see you looking at this and being like, I know exactly where this is going. Cease! This is a PG Christian Minecraft channel. God.
I had a nightmare. Can I sleep with you?
Oh, sweetie, of course you can.
Mom, I can't sleep.
Come hither, thou. Get in. Oh, it's the entire party of just misfits sleeping. It's so cute. Maybe I should implement this for an adventure. Like, there's only one bed in every single inn. Isn't that beautiful? Why is there only one bed in every inn? What the frick? This is from Scale and Tail. Knights and Mares. That is so beautiful. Hell yeah. The wholesome celestial warlock, her patron, ready to throw hands after she was insulted. The wholesome D&D vibes. They are rare, but they do exist. You guys don't play as much D&D since Judith joined our game. Kick her out of the game. She is ruining our shenanigans and yours. This graph should illustrate our point. Before Judith, our fun level was at an all-time high, 93%. It is now an 8. Oh, this feels like r/RPG horror stories. Let's check the comments, shall we? This is gonna be juicy. A guy got kicked after session 1. He cheated so he could look like the hero and his character was kind of a butt for no reason. Cheating at D&D is about as low as you can get while staying safe for work. It's in the same tier as hacking an online board game. It's just so weird. It's so much about the roleplay and the friend and the adventure building. Like, cheating at it is so odd. I mean, there's an exception for the Dungeon Master, right? Because you cheat all the time to, like, make it interesting. You know, if there's a close call with someone dying or something, you might, like, squeeze the dice a little bit to make it more exciting and to either drag it out or, you know, make sure they don't go in the wrong direction, something like that. Cheating as the Dungeon Master is fine. I think that's the entire point with hiding your dice, so to say, so you can program the adventure a bit. But, like, cheating as a player, bruh. She showed up, joined our tonally serious campaign that we communicated was tonally serious, and made a joke character. That joke character then proceeded to be a murder hobo, attacking a shopkeeper for no reason and killing him. And after being warned that an attack against this shopkeeper would kill him, and that would have consequences in-game. She did it anyway, then fought a bunch of guards and lost, was arrested, and the party simply didn't break her out of prison, because why would any of them risk themselves for this murderer who joined their group yesterday? So I gave her the option to make a new character. She declined, so I just kicked her from the group because, God, she derailed that entire session and then wasn't willing to work with us to get a new character that better fit the tone and feel of the game. One good way of dealing with stuff like this, I haven't had a lot of issues with this lately because the group is pretty tight-knit and everyone is kind of in on what kind of adventure we're going for, but when stuff like this happens, a really good way is just giving whatever they're doing plot armor. It's like, oh, this merchant is a retired super wizard, you know, and the reason they have a little magic shop is because they have adventured for 50 years and know, like, amazing doom spells. They literally have plot armor. Stuff like that you can always do. Or just lock them up like this did. This seems like a very good way of keeping it kind of canonically, so to say. You just end up in jail. There's no way you can defeat the entire town guard by yourself. But but it's still annoying because I imagine this derailing probably took 2 hours. A friend of mine constantly argued with me about my rulings and asked for homebrew magic items. One good way with homebrew magic items is to use like the framework of power that is in the original game, kind of. That's a really good way of doing it. So people can have their own spells, but they like you balance the power, so to say. If you are level 2 and you have some little spell, it should be sort of equivalent in power to what a level 2 spell would be in the original books. That's a pretty good way to go about it. Also, he described his character's actions as if he were in an anime, which didn't fit the campaign. Here is an example. Him.
I cast Searing Smite. My blade gets
I got a hot chocolate as well.
burns through the body in front of me. The blade
Yeah.
just evaporates everyone.
Me. Wait a second. Roll to hit first, then describe what you do. He hits and rolls for damage. Him.
That's six points of slashing damage and 4 points of fire damage.
You
Me.
want some?
Okay, so you
It's very
slash
foamy.
Steel Defender. The metal bends where you hit it. It took a little bit of damage.
It's
The
very
biggest issue
foamy.
was that he was only there for random session usually,
Yeah.
and he forgot or had to do some random urgent tasks. Nowadays, I learned how to clearly communicate my boundaries with him. So much that him being unreliable or argumentative during sessions probably won't affect me anymore. I would just kick him again and move on. We're still friends IRL though. I mean, that's a pretty good way to go about it. It's like when you separate friendships from business, right? But separate friendships from tabletop drama. Hell yeah. I had a dude who asked 3 different people over DMs if they could be friends with benefits in various gross ways within a week. Needless to say, they were not interested and we dropped his butt. I swear to God, this whole comment section is just a mini version of RPG horror stories. Ooh, I've been thinking about making a video about that. Would you like to see that? Would you like to see that? Let me know in the comments. RPG horror stories is kind of interesting. I have a few friends around me that have some of those horror stories too. And it goes everything from like weird inserted romantic drama to people just not getting along to people getting genuinely offended when something happens to their character. It's wild, man. It's wild.
Do a 6 with me?
Yuan D. Bard with -2 in charisma.
I have about the same charisma as this random cow turd.
The overpowered armor-dip wizard as soon as I introduce him to carry weight. His 8 strength is barely enough to lift his plate armor.
Someone freaking help me!
Oh, I love myself some femboy wizard not being able to carry equipment. Heck yeah. I think 8 strength should be enough to carry armor though, although with speed penalties, but yeah, I can see where this is coming from. That's pretty funny.
Darn kids these days using AI programs to create avatars for the D&D characters. Back in my day, we used to steal pictures from Google image search that looked sort of what we had in Minecraft characters, but holding the wrong weapon. Here is my Tabaxi fighter with katana.
Honestly, one decent way of doing this is use something like Hero Forge, or you can use something like Skyrim. You know, if you have like a warrior orc, for example, just make a character in Skyrim and just take a screenshot and print it. That works relatively well as a starting step.
Oh my god!
Hey, what's going on?
Sick bastard!
Dragonborn, tail, and hair.
The 2 greatest sins. Oh my god. Are we lost?
No. The mayor told us that the town mascot was last seen around here. For 50 gold pieces, we can stomach a small stroll in a mine. Maybe we can even find some treasure. And again, how hard can it be to find a little lamb? Ominous chanting stops. Why is it always cultists? It's so beautiful. It feels sort of like a Skyrim dungeon, doesn't it? When it's like the Draugrs for the 50th time.
Why are there so many grave sites? There are barely enough cities in this world to have this many dead people.
Rolls to alarm your players via rolling tables guess. Number 1, roll 1d10 and say, oof. Roll 2d6, 1d8 and 3d12s. Roll 1d6, 4d8s and 1d12. And if asked, say, oh, it's nothing. Roll 14d20s. Number 5, roll 3d6 and silently shake your head. Roll 3d12s and 2d20s. Roll 1d4, 1d6 and 2d10s. Roll 7d10. Roll 4d10s. Look alarmed and then quickly try to cover it up. Roll 3d10s. Roll 1d10 and 2d12s. Roll 3d20s. Look at one of your players for a second and then silently roll another d20. Or just roll this, get up and quietly leave the room for 10 minutes. D30. Have you heard of a super crit? Woohoo!
Oh, dwarven female. My dwarven female. Oh, yes, indeed.
Doesn't this kind of thing originally come from Tolkien, with the fun fact that he hadn't thought through, like, the genders of dwarves and that kind of stuff, so it just ended up being something that was kind of left out, but then just start talking about, like, the female dwarves having beards and stuff as well? I think it comes from something like that, doesn't it? It's kind of a funny backstory.
The druid the DM thinks I'm going to play versus
The druid I'm actually going to play. Oh, yeah. Weed bro druid, let's go.
Wife,
how was your D&D session?
the D&D session.
Boy, you little trash goblin.
Well, pretty average, but I enjoyed it.
What do you mean pretty average? That looks epic. So, are you like gay or something? What? What pride flag is that?
Yes, DM, what's your AC? What's your current HP?
What's your max HP? Oh, God. He's gonna nuke us.
Reese! Grandma, I told you not to bother me when I'm doing my solo campaign. Sure you don't need your cloak?
And he has a little cloak. Wait a second, is this AI generated? That's not a proper amount of fingers. Hold on, is this just like AI generated stuff overlaid on other AI generated stuff as PNG images? I mean, it's just for a meme, I suppose, but saying you made a comic with AI sounds a bit odd, I suppose. Although the comic gets a wholesome stamp, though. It's really sweet and cute, I'll give it that.
Town mayor. And this is the well that the entire town used for drinking water.
The warlock with poison spray. Oh, yes, indeed. Resist the intrusive thoughts. The intrusive thoughts shall not be resisted. Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here. You wonderful, beautiful being. Remember to check out the links in the description to the comics and stuff that were featured in this video, and I will see you again in the very near future. Take care, you wonderful beings. Mwah.
Hey there, Mr. Redder here. Welcome back to another episode of Reddit Podcast Stories, where today, Karen gave my phone number to a strange guy who I want nothing to do with. I, 35 female, am a single mother to two kids who are 5 and 3. Both my kids are in daycare, and over the years, I've built a solid friend group with a handful of other moms, and our kids regularly get together for playdates. The father of my kids is not in the picture at all, and my relationship with him is non-existent. This is 100% for the best. I'm currently in therapy to deal with a lot of things that he put me through. This friend group has literally been a lifesaver for me at times. A few months ago, there were 2 new kids that started at our daycare center. They're similar in age to my kids and were placed in the same classes as them. I noticed that their dad was the only parent to ever pick up or drop off the kids. He would try to make small talk with me a few times, but I'm uncomfortable around strange men, so I would be polite, but not engage further than that. Our mom group has a group chat that we use to support each other and arrange playdates. A few weeks ago, one of the moms texted the group chat that she was adding this new dad to our group chat because he wanted to have his kids participate in playdates outside of daycare. I privately texted that other mom, and I told her I don't feel comfortable with a man I don't even know having my contact information, and I told her that she should have consulted all of us before deciding on her own to add him to our group chat. I then texted the rest of the moms and told them that I want them to keep a separate group chat without the other dad, because I don't know him and it makes me uncomfortable. This resulted in a lot of divided opinions, with about half of the moms agreeing to a separate chat and the other half saying that would be too difficult to keep track of, and that it's wrong to exclude another parent just because he's a man, and that I'm being unreasonable. The mom I texted privately replied to me that she has talked with his dad numerous times and that he seems like a nice person and a good parent, and that his kids shouldn't be excluded if they want to hang out with their friends outside of daycare. She told me I'm being difficult and making this all harder than it needs to be. The other day when I picked up my kids, my 5-year-old was upset because a bunch of his friends were talking about a playdate that he wasn't invited to. I texted the moms about it, and they said that they were getting the kids together with the new dad and didn't invite my kids because of how I was acting. I told them it was rude to exclude my kids like that, and a couple of the moms told me to grow up because that's exactly what I was trying to do to this dad and his kids. I'm at a loss because these moms have been so supportive to me in the past, and as soon as this dad comes into the picture, it's like they pulled a 180 and don't seem to care at all. There are still other moms who agree with me, but now it's like our friend group has been divided by this. You aren't the bad guy for not wanting your personal contact information shared with a person you don't know, regardless of their gender, or for not wanting to participate in activities where people you don't know are present. This is a boundary that you're welcome to set, but you do not get to dictate what the other moms in the group do. Those who criticized you for setting this boundary were wrong, but it sounds like they ultimately respected it by not inviting you to an event where the dad would be present. The only person you can dictate gets to be in this friend group is yourself. Trying to exclude anyone else for any reason, when it's not a group consensus, makes you the jerk here. Set your boundaries and enforce them, but remember, boundaries do not force a behavior or action on others. It's about what you will accept. I will not be participating in activities or group chats where men I don't know are present. Acceptable and enforceable. I don't want men I don't know in our group chat or at group activities is not a boundary, it's trying to control the group. Don't get upset when people respect your boundaries because what you really wanted was for them to pick you over someone else. You're the jerk. You're the jerk. You called him a strange man when you have barely had a conversation with him and have not pointed out anything to warrant him as strange, which makes it seem like you just have an issue when a man is the sole guardian of his kids. And the other moms are correct. You're being hypocritical to want to exclude him and his kids from conversations and playdates, but then you get upset when the same happens to you. What if he's a widow? What if his ex is bad like yours and he's trying to recover with his kids like yourself? Could you imagine if you and your kids were excluded from the group because you did not fit the normal family type? Not married to the father of your kids? That make you feel bad? Now imagine how he feels. Excluded just because he's a man and is present in his kids' lives. Do better, OP. If you don't, it'll most likely be your kids that end up being excluded. You're the jerk. No wonder your baby daddy isn't in the picture. You sound absolutely unbearable, and your kids are really going to have a lot of problems because of your bitterness and hostility. I came home, and my wife is gone. I have a great ability to hide my cheating, but also haven't seemed to need it because my wife works all the time, and we do have a great love life. So I would be shocked if she even suspected I was doing what I was doing. That's why I'm going crazy right now. I come home from work yesterday, and usually my wife gets home about 30 minutes after I do. When I realized it's getting late, I called and got no answer. I check our room, and her things are gone. She left the house completely untouched, took all of her clothes, but left no note. I can't get in touch with her through phone, email, her friends won't answer. She must know, right? Why wouldn't she ask me? Who finds out and just leaves? Is it possible she doesn't know and left for someone else? Let her go. You're done for. She will contact you with your next instructions, likely will be served soon. OP. Didn't she technically abandon the home? How can she serve me? Update. 9 hours later. She's a sociopath. She's known for months. She hooked up with me and smiled in my face for months. I now know that she knows. She is known for months. She's been more deceitful about knowing than I have about doing it, and maybe that's why I'm so angry. I can't even have interest in my affair partner now. This is not what I want. How do I not go through this? I wouldn't have done it if I
Would
thought
you be
she'd find
impressed
out.
if actually
Sorry,
do
I'm
you
just
the
desperate.
entire week?
I definitely need to fix it, because I need to know how she even found out.
Would you be impressed
Okay,
if I
what do
actually
you think
did
would
the
happen if
whole
and when she found out? Were you disappointed that she didn't scream and cry and play the pick-me game? She found out and decided it was a deal breaker on her end. You got off easy. No crying, screaming, and crying. No therapy or malicious compliance to sit through and pay for. Probably took those months to stash some cash, find a place, or another guy. Don't think there's any way to fix this. OP. Maybe a little. I don't know why I felt this way. But yeah, I guess I wanted to see some kind of reaction. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's just how I feel. She makes most of the money, so that's another thing that sucks. I'll basically have to ask her for some kind of support to keep living the kind of lifestyle we've been living. I wish she would fight me. Seems like she's willing to let everything go, including her own money, just to avoid me. It's making me feel like I don't even know her. Update the next day. I just found out what happened now from her mom. One of my wife's interns works a second job at the hotel where a fair partner and I met, 3 towns away. But my wife had a picture of us on her phone screen, so she recognized me. After that, I guess she called my wife the next time we were there, and my wife stopped in to confirm, then left. What's getting to me is that this was in March. I never saw any changes in her. Update. I finally talked to my wife this afternoon. I've been in our house since Thursday night by myself, pretty much clueless as to what was going on until her mother, who she has very little contact with, reached out to me. I was caught. I've been caught since March. Wife texted me today saying she had intended to contact me through a lawyer and just let the divorce do the talking. But since her mother decided to contact me, she would answer any questions I had if I had a desire to speak to her. Clearly I did. I asked her why she stayed around after she knew, and how she just lied to me like that. She said it wasn't her intention, but she shut down to figure out what she needed to do regarding our relationship and herself. At the end, she said something like, she realized she still loves me, but doesn't respect me, and she said she thinks that I love her, but don't respect her either, so we should go our separate ways. She already got her job to move her to the city she's been asking me to move to for a long time now, and said she'd like to sell me half of the house if I want it, and if not, we can list it. But I guess our lawyers will handle that paperwork, and I still have no idea if I want our house without her in it. I'm glad I talked to her, but I'm sad at how moved on she is. She did cry a little bit, but then stopped. I asked for therapy, and she said I should have asked for that when I realized I had impulse control issues. I've been drinking for 48 hours now, and I'm sorry for the rant. I don't think it's losing her that's hurting me, but losing like this. Well, that was a wild read. The mental jujitsu this guy has to do to make her the bad guy would be exhausting to anyone with a normally developed sense of morality. Can't get over him thinking her exit was just as deceitful as his cheating. But babe, why are you divorcing me months after you found out I was cheating? What about my feelings? How could you do this to me? People make such stupid decisions. You thought that was bad? How about this one? Today I messed up by spending $90,000 on a Dodge Charger. Last year, at the ripe age of 24 and suddenly flush with cash, I thought it would be a genius move to buy a Dodge Charger Hellcat. Not just any Charger, though. I paid a whopping $90,000 for it, way above the sticker price, right when the car market was at its 2022 peak thanks to lockdown pricing bubble. Talk about timing, right? It was great for about 2 weeks, but then I realized that this thing was eating me alive. The insurance, $800 a month. Gas, $600, plus $20 every time I floored it. That was more than my rent. Cut to last month, I'm driving home from work, I take a corner too fast, and boom, I've managed to total this beast. Went to my insurance, and they're only willing to cough up $55,000 for it, thanks to the muscle car market taking a nosedive. There I was, thinking I had made a smart investment, only to end up with a negative $35,000 facepalm moment. Everyone had warned me. The market's inflated, they said. You're paying way too much, they warned. Did I listen? Nope. I was too caught up in the dream of roaring down the streets in that V8 supercharged monster. The crash itself was like a slap back to reality. Beyond the twisted metal and lost dreams, it hit me how massive a financial blunder I had made. That $35,000 gap wasn't just about the money. It was a lesson in humility and the value of financial wisdom, or my lack of it. This mistake wasn't just about wrecking a car, it was about wrecking my financial stability over a moment of impulsive pride. If there's any silver lining here, it's the hard-earned wisdom that comes from learning the hard way. To anyone reading this, let my mistake be your lesson. In the world of big purchases, especially in a volatile market, don't let your impulses take the wheel. Just breathe and relax. And for the love of all that's financially sane, if you ever find yourself suddenly rich and eyeing a high-performance car, maybe just don't. Please think twice, do your research, and for goodness sake, wait out the market frenzy. My wife and I are having problems over one of her friends that she goes skiing with. Plus update. Background. My wife is an avid skier. She tries to ski every chance she gets, and that's often multiple times a week. I'm very supportive of this, as it seems like a good way for her to relieve herself of stress, and it generally makes her happier. She's made multiple close friendships through this hobby, male and female, and some weekends they take ski trips to resorts out of town. I ski sometimes, but I'm not an enthusiast, and this group wants to tackle a lot of challenging runs that I'm not capable of at my current skill level. Also in the off-season, they do other activities to maintain their fitness. None of this has ever been a problem until recently. A few months ago, my wife went trail running with a guy named Josh that was new to the group. I didn't know she was going alone until after she came back. I found that a little unusual since she usually goes with a couple of her girlfriends and maybe one other guy. Also, she had never really done this activity before. The next thing that happened that I thought was unusual was when she got sick during lockdown, so she was isolating from me. She wanted to watch a movie on Amazon Prime, and I told her to bring me her laptop so I could take care of the two-factor authentication stuff. While I was using her laptop, she seemed cagey and agitated, and was hovering a little too close to me, considering we were supposed to be isolating. At this time, I noticed she was looking at a love horoscope for her sign and Josh in one of those recently closed tabs. This didn't sit right with me, and I was stewing about it. My wife noticed, and she asked why I was upset, and I confronted her. She told me the horoscope thing was just a curiosity, and she looks it up for other people as well. I find this hard to believe. She offered me her phone to look through her messages, and I went through them. There were a lot of messages for a text chain that started only a couple of months ago. Probably more than we exchanged in the same period. Mostly her sending him memes and friendly back and forth. To me, it seemed excessive, and it looked like she was going out of her way to keep a conversation going with Josh. There was also a provocative exchange she made that went something like this. Josh, I would do bad things for some lasagna. Wife, oh, like what? Josh, I don't know, steal it? Wife, that's not what I was thinking. That's what I get when my mind is in the gutter. Josh, an emoji. To me, this looks like an unsuccessful attempt by her to escalate the conversation, but Josh, to his credit, doesn't bite. When I saw this, I pointed it out, and she took blame for it and said she shouldn't have sent that. I'm shaking and very upset by all of this. My wife claims he's just one of the girls, and she isn't attracted to him because he's short and he's just a good friend. All of this reminded me of an emotional affair situation that I we've been married for 20. We got through that, and I was hoping that was behind us. In response to this, I set up 2 boundaries. 1. No more one-on-one events with Josh. 2. Avoid the one-on-one texting. There's not usually a reason to text one-on-one when the same type of content can be shared in a group text. The next week, she said 2 of her girlfriends canceled on an event, and she asked if it was okay if she went alone with Josh. I told her obviously not, because that was a boundary I set. Me for saying no. She met with her therapist, and her therapist largely agreed with my point of view, and she seemed to be less annoyed with me after that. I'd been off and on depressed about all of this, and during that, she would ask me if there was anything she could do, and I just asked her to follow the boundaries I've set. Cut to last week. I asked her to check in on the boundaries I set. She admitted to texting with Josh again, and I asked to see her phone. There was a gap in the texting, but there was 6 or 7 consecutive days again with a lot of texting. Again, it's just benign texting, but it just seems kind of unnecessary. I don't know that we need 3 days around Christmas to text Merry Christmas and start a conversation. I don't think you need to tell your single guy friend goodnight in the evening. She says she was just giving him a resource for some technical safety gear, and she started doing it again. I'm very upset about it, and I tell her that she was ignoring a clearly set boundary, and I'm not sure how we can get past this as a couple. I find it really disrespectful and hurtful that she ignored this boundary, especially when she saw what it was doing to me. I found it very cruel. I talked to her about blocking contacts with this person and ending the friendship so that we could move on. Considering that she already violated a clearly set boundary, I felt the need to escalate. She seemed open to that initially, but was indignant about it later on. I've asked her to apologize for ignoring the boundary and disrespecting me in the marriage, promise she won't do it again, and outline some steps to ensure it won't happen again. She seems to think I'm setting up an ultimatum on friendship, but I just want a path forward I can be comfortable with. She says she wasn't doing this to be cruel. She doesn't seem all that sorry to me. She says she has a deep connection with Josh. I bet she does. But again, they're just friends. She doesn't want to end the friendship because she says she will be outside the core group of enthusiasts and the activities that they set up. My position is that my wife is acting inappropriately and disregarding my feelings by ignoring the boundary. I believe my wife loves me, but I also think she has a crush on this guy and is kind of acting on it and downplaying it. Am I overreacting? Am I being unreasonable? What should I do? Update. Funny part before the rest. I had read her the original post to show her how it looked to everyone. Her palms started to get so sweaty, it left a stain on the laptop. She didn't have a lot to say about it except, wow, this is a lot to process. We set up a counseling appointment to work on things. The working solution we had was that she would tell me when they texted each other. My wife was following through with that, and I thanked her every time. I also told her if she slipped up in some way to just acknowledge it, not delete messages and whatnot. The counseling session was lame. The counselor seemed like he was on autopilot and just wanted to get to the Gottman books. We set up a couple of future appointments. She had a work trip coming up. We went skiing the day before, and I took her to the airport and kissed her goodbye. I texted her from time to time, and she would send pictures of the things she was seeing, but seemed a little unresponsive. I figured she was just busy with everything going on. She never called me or our daughter. She would say she was taking a bath at the end of the night. I picked her up from the airport and brought her home, and she seemed distant. I had to ask for a hug. She went skiing the next day. Things felt weird, and I checked the phone bill. And lo and behold, she called Josh for an hour one night, then he called her 2 other nights for a couple of hours. I checked her Facebook. The messages from her friends were talking about how he tried to kiss her at some point, but they hadn't cut him out of the group in any way. Also, one of her friends told her to delete messages and call logs before coming home, as I might check them. These are all garbage people. I put her stuff in garbage bags and told her off when she got home. I told her she was such a cheater, and the guy was a cheater, and they deserved each other. She didn't have much to say because she couldn't even come up with a bad lie. Filled her car up and left. I'm astounded at how morally bankrupt she is, and her friends are as well. I've met these people. They know who I am and that I'm a decent guy. I just can't imagine encouraging someone to hide immoral behavior. I asked her from the start of this mess if she wanted to exit the relationship, and she said she wanted to work things out. She saw how much pain it was causing me, and she kept doing it. You think you know people. I believe she was playing me and the guy off of each other, hinting to him that our relationship wasn't solid, and maybe someday they could be a couple, while also trying to reconcile with me. She's a narcissist, and this was feeding her ego. The short term sucks because I'm stressed, and it's hurting my ability to sleep. sorry if some of this doesn't make sense. I know I'll be better on the long run, but this sucks right now. It's pretty lame that she gets to shack up with this dirtbag, and I probably won't feel like dating for years. Anyway, once a cheater, always a cheater. Trust your gut. I should have told her to buzz off a long time ago. Hope I don't get destroyed in the divorce. My girlfriend lied about our vacation, and I am beyond angry. So for context, my girlfriend and I have been together for a very long time. Everything's perfect. However, lately she and I haven't been able to see each other as often as we would like. Cool. And I myself have been very busy with work. And a vacation together as soon as we finally had time for one another. We planned a vacation to a country we both have never been to, and where an old friend of hers lives. Let's refer to her as B. B is someone who I personally despise. She's a textbook narcissist, as well as having cheated on her boyfriend multiple times, who for the record is a pretty stand-up guy. As soon as we were planning the vacation, it became apparent that we were going to pay this friend of hers a visit, seeing as we're there anyway, as well as the fact that B's birthday is sometime during our vacation. I of course thought little of it. We'll pay her a visit for her birthday, eat some cake, and break open a bottle of wine. You know, the usual. My girlfriend knows that I despise B, but she also knows that I can play nice. I mean, it's just a day, or so I thought. A couple of weeks before our departure, she informed me that two other friends of hers, let's call them C and D, were also going to the same country during the same time as our trip. Once again, I thought little of it. Maybe they heard we were going, and seeing as the trip is quite cheap, perhaps they wanted to go as well. Then I was told that they were on the same flight as us. Fine, I thought. I can deal with it. We'll have to travel with them for a little while, but after that, it's finally just me and my girlfriend getting the quality time we deserve. Then, just days prior, I found out that C and D are in the same hotel as us. In fact, they were in the exact opposite room of ours. Strange, I thought, but perhaps another coincidence. Our hotel is quite cheap, so maybe they happened to book the same one as us, and the room was just a coincidence. 2 days ago, we finally arrived, and that's when I finally learned the truth of this vacation. She had made plans with her friends on every single day. There was no time and opportunity for me to be alone with my partner. In fact, B also was going to be with us every day. In fact, she was the one who made most of the plans for our group, which I never even agreed to. And of course, B chose all kinds of things which I despise. B despises me as much as I despise her, seeing as I was the one who exposed her cheating to her boyfriend a long time ago. Now my girlfriend expects me to do everything she and her friends are going to do, which I don't want to. I wanted to have a nice calm vacation with my partner after months of us not being together. It honestly feels like she has no respect for me anymore. I talked to her about it, and she just said she doesn't know what else to do, and she doesn't want to disappoint her friends. Honestly, I'm at a loss here. I'm considering just booking a solo ticket back without telling my girlfriend and just leaving as soon as possible. It feels like I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm the fifth wheel with people I don't even like, especially not B. I'm just beyond angry. She doesn't want to disappoint her friends? But that you're disappointed doesn't count? Why are her friends more important than you are? Man, I would bounce, especially if she already knew you hated her friend. She doesn't seem to care or want to spend time with you. Sorry, man. My condolences on your newfound unplanned singleness. If your girlfriend considers a cheating narcissist as a good friend, it says bad things about her, on top of the fact that this whole thing shows that she prioritizes time with her friends over time with you. Karen demands benefits and insurance. I work on an IT help desk that's phone number is one off from a military benefits help desk number. We tend to get the other help desk's calls several times a week, which makes it often enough to include in the initial training for new employees. Normally, the person on the other end has misdialed. We provide the right phone number, and we go our separate ways amicably. On one particular occasion, Sergeant Karen called and would not believe me that she had dialed the wrong number. While I appreciate that she was trying to get her family the benefits her military service more than deserved, I could not help her to get them. We've got Sergeant Karen, and we've got me. We've got awesome supervisor. Phone rings. Thank you for calling my help desk. This is OB. How may I help you? Sergeant Karen. This is Sergeant Karen. I need to get this string of benefits, insurance, etc. for myself and my family. Me. I'm sorry. You've called the incorrect help desk for that. Let me get the number for the other help. No, this is the number for my help desk. and you will help me now. I have kids, and they need to be covered on my insurance. Me.
QE.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is not your help desk. This help
Yeah.
desk is for reporting IT issues from employees of my organization. Our number is one off from that one. It is possible you misdialed. It happens all the time. I did not misdial. I know I called the right number. This is the number I have, and you will help me now. Me. Ma'am, I am telling you, this is not your help desk. If I could help, I would. But I do not work there and have no way of accessing their systems. Let me speak to your supervisor. Yes, ma'am. Transfer the call to Awesome Supervisor, who sits in the next cubicle over. Supervisor. This is the help desk. Supervisor here. How may I... No, ma'am. This is not the other help desk. Well, be that way then, jerk. Sergeant Karen had hung up abruptly when my supervisor confirmed that this was indeed not the number for the other help desk. Next we've got, we close in just a few minutes, and you want what? So this just happened moments ago, and now that I'm home, I can tell the tale. My store closes at 10 p.m. Sometime within the last 15 to 20 minutes before we shut those doors for the night, I noticed an order in our photo lab that had just come through to be processed. Went back, printed the labels, read what they were, started the order, and left. Over the span of not even 2 minutes, more orders came through, making a total of 6 orders for one person. People forget things to add last minute and don't want to lose progress in making something online. It's understandable. 13 posters, 2 canvases, and a handful of 8x10 prints. Wouldn't be done tonight, but it is normal to receive large orders. A few minutes later, the phones are ringing from an incoming call. Me. Thank you for calling the store. My name's OP. How can I help you this evening? Customer. Hi. I just placed an order a few minutes ago and was wondering when they would be ready. Me. Alrighty. What's your last name so I can check the status? Customer's name. Proceed to check the bins with completed orders, then looking at the computer screen, her name was the big order. Me. You had the posters, canvases, and the 8x10s, correct? Yes. 4 posters have been printed, and the 8x10s are still printing. Canvases are not able to start until the posters finish. Your order should be complete before 8 tomorrow morning. Customer. But I need them first thing tomorrow. Can I pick them up tonight? Cue me checking the time real quick before answering her question. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am, but we will be closing in 7 minutes. Our staff in the morning can put together your canvases, and the rest of the order can print throughout the night. We open at 7 a.m. if you wanted to ask for a more accurate time frame. Customer, angrily. Your website says 1 hour. How long does it take for you to do your job? Me, tired, but trying to keep up the cheerful voice. Normally it is 1 hour, yes, but our machines can only go so fast, ma'am. The posters and the canvas products print from the same machine, and the printing time can vary depending on the size of just one image. It can vary anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to print one thing, and that's if there isn't a mechanical malfunction that can make the image streak or if ink needs to be changed. Then it might need to be reprinted. It takes almost half an hour to put together a canvas while making sure it's crisp and correctly done. We now close in 5 minutes. The pickup time on your order automatically says that they should be ready between 9:45 a.m. and 10:05 a.m. 8 is the earliest we can get these ready for you. Now, end that with a dial tone, because she just hung up on me. If it was someone who needed pictures for court, a classroom, anything else, so long as they were in the store before closing and it wasn't going to take long at all, both the manager and I would have stayed to help and get it ready. We've done it in the past. There's no way that would have been done before 11:30. Who's to say she would even show up? Sometimes people say they need stuff immediately and never walk into the store or come back until days later. Would you have stayed and completed the order, or just told her to come back tomorrow? Please leave a comment letting me know. Next we've got just another customer who refuses to take no for an answer. I had the pleasure of fielding a phone call from a customer who refused to understand that what he was asking for simply wasn't possible. Customer. Hi, I was in your store yesterday and saw this hat I liked, but you didn't have it in black. I was wondering if you could order it into the store so I could buy it. Me. Let me check our inventory system right now. If we have it in one of our distribution centers or another store, we could absolutely place an order for you and have you pick it up at our store. I checked and we didn't carry the hat in black at all. To be clear, it wasn't that it was sold out or currently unavailable, or anything like that. We just didn't carry that product in black. Never had, and had no plans to do so. Me. Hi there. I just checked, and it looks like we don't carry that style in black. So, unfortunately, I can't order it into the store for you. Him. Black is such a popular color. Why don't you have it in black? Me. I agree, it is a very popular color, but we just don't sell that style in black at all. Very sorry about that. Him. But the company that makes the hat sells it in black on their website. Me. I understand. We don't sell that hat in black, but if you want to, you could buy it from that company directly. Him. Your store had a better price for it. I'd really prefer to buy it from you if you could order it in. So not only does he want us to order this item in for him and him alone, he also wants us to sell it to him at a discounted price. Me. Right. The thing is, if we as a store were out of stock, but we carried it as a chain, I could order it in for you. But since we don't carry it at all, I have no way to order it for you. Him. You couldn't just order one in for me? I'm a loyal customer. I bought something the last time I was in. Me. Unfortunately, we just don't have that style in black in our system at all. There's no way to order it in, and in terms of distribution, we can't place orders for just one item. Here's where I started getting really frustrated with his refusal to accept that what he was asking for just wasn't possible. Him. Well, what if you order a few in? Me. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. I don't control our distribution or what products we stock. Him. Well then, can I speak to your manager? I'm sure he'd be happy to order in a product for a loyal customer. At this point, I'm happy to have an out from this conversation, even if it means potentially annoying my manager with a frivolous phone call. Me. Sure thing. Your call through to him. It'll just be a moment. Him. Actually, can you put me on hold and lay some groundwork with your manager? Let him know I'm a loyal customer. I just bought something recently. I really want to buy this hat through you. And then, when you have him on my side, then can you put the call through? Me. I'm going to connect you to my manager now. What I didn't tell him was this. I'm definitely going to lay some groundwork with my manager in terms of apologizing for sending him this call and letting him know how persistent and annoying you've been up until now. My manager took the call, came up a few minutes later and just said, "Don't worry about it. He understands he's not getting the hat through us." If I had to do over, I would have been more brief and just let him know it wasn't possible and then hung up on him. It's still crazy just how far people will push it to get things exactly how they want them. If you were handling a customer like this, what exactly would you tell them? Please let me know in the comments. Next we've got Entitled Dad Takes My 3,000 Euro Guitar. March 2019. I used to play guitar for many years. I started when I was about 6 or 7 and had to quit after my 3rd year of university, since Italian law school is extremely hard. Now that I finally graduated, I decided to start playing again. When I quit, I sold or gave away many of my guitars, keeping just my first one as a memory of my granddad, who I lost 2 years ago. So, first things first, I looked for a good instrument. Since I couldn't find one, I wanted an 8-string guitar, since I usually play really heavy stuff. I ended up with a luthier custom-made beast. Since I also found a really well-paying job, I decided to treat myself, as I never had good instruments, and this is the very first one I've ever bought that cost more than $200 or $300. It was a dream come true. Fast forward a bit. January 2020. I was at this shop, which is also renowned for being really good with setups. And, of course, I brought my guitar with me so that they could take a closer look and inspect it. I was at the shop's counter for maybe over an hour, since most of the employees are my friends, and we started talking about stuff like how we were doing, news, albums, etc. Also, it took them some time to give me
You have a bad roommate story, it is not even fair to keep it from me. I want to hear about it in the comments down below, because we're all friends here, right? However, if you have a good roommate, let's cheers to good roommates, because living situations, those can be tough. We all want a positive home environment, no matter what the okay? So cheers. Cheers to good roommates and to being a good roommate, okay?
Since everybody is so invested in my really gross roommate, I'm gonna share some old pictures and videos that I have to
Oh
explain.
no.
Okay, this video was taken a few months back. She uses grocery bags as a trash can because she does not have one. After about a month of living together, we decided we would not be sharing kitchen utensils, obviously. And yeah, so all of this is hers. And it was also sent to the landlord, and he quite clearly did not care that the kitchen looked this way. Okay, this is her coffee maker. She uses this every day. If you look close enough, there is a gnat right here, along with dead gnats and live gnats swimming in her coffee. So yeah, I have way more videos and pictures than that. If you want more.
That coffee thing really done it with me, okay? That sent me for a loop-de-loop. Like, that made me physically sick thinking about that. There is a difference between people having mental health issues and really freaking struggling, and then there is other people who are just pure lazy. They're messy and they're lazy, okay? That's just the reality of it. The smell, the mold, the bugs. Why would you want to live in that? I'm so lucky. I've had a lot of roommates in my day, and none of them are like that. Not messy like that. So lucky, because I could not handle that. I am like Monica from Friends.
Clean, not just health department clean, Monica clean.
I'm very particular. I like cleanliness. I'm not perfect by any freaking means, but I just like clean space. It just is what it is. And it does get messy, because I'm human. But then I love cleaning it. Like, I will spend my Friday nights dancing around in PJs, cleaning my house. I love it. It's therapeutic to me.
Yo, I'm in the mood to start a pot. I don't care. Let me tell you about the worst, the craziest roommates I've ever had in my entire life. Okay, here we go. Number one. My freshman year, I moved in a little bit before my roommates because I went to like some kind of early summer program, whatever. I moved in like a week before everybody else. I'm like, bro, I'm literally gonna make so many friends. Then my roommates come, then I noticed that she keeps leaving her laundry basket right in front of my door every day before she leaves for class. I'm like, what does that mean? So I just like scooted over. So as soon as I open my door, it's like laundry. So I scooted over and put it in front of her door. This goes on for a week. Every single day when I open my door in the morning, that's the laundry right here. Eventually, the girl texts me. I wish I still had a text message. The girl texts me and she's like, we need to have an intervention in the living room right now. Oh, Boogie, what's going on? There, mind you, there, and I'm right. Anyway, so
I love her.
The problematic roommate, we're gonna call them Sarah. Sarah was like, I've been noticing that you haven't been doing my laundry. You need to start doing my laundry every single day. Like, I don't know what else I have to say, but you need to start doing my laundry every single day, and I'm not gonna tell you again. What? And I was like, I don't, no. And she was like, you're the help, right? I'm dead. I was like, no, girl, I go to school here. And she was like, oh. Then, literally the next day, she reported me to my RA for bullying. And I had to have an intervention. What? That was year one. That was year one. Then, year two, I moved out, obviously, and I moved into like an on-campus kind of apartment. I had a roommate who would literally pee on the floor in the middle of the night. This is her room, this is the bathroom. Like, pee in the middle of the hallway. She'd be like, sometimes in the middle of the night, I just can't make it. I just can't make it. So she would just pee on the floor. Oh! And then she had this guy friend. The guy friend ended up getting a girlfriend. And she would like vent to me and be like, oh my gosh, like, he stopped paying attention to me. And like, we were at the game and I was sitting on his lap and his girlfriend got so mad. Duh! That's literally this man, girl! What are you saying? So yeah, I am very excited to now be living in a one-bedroom apartment with Justin and my dog.
Girl, I am so happy for you that this was the ending and you updated me that you got your own place. I have never wanted that more for a person. You must be traumatized by roommates. The help?
The help?
Peeing on the floor, sitting on someone's boyfriend's lap. You would never trust anyone after that. Any roommate, any living situation. They'd start off normal and you'd be like, I don't even trust it. Something bad's gonna happen. I told my roommate she was being too loud when I was trying to sleep, and she got mad and said I was dramatic. In my deja vu, he died. I know he's gonna die. I had a deja vu, and I know that he's gonna die. What the? There's a note here. Guess what time it says that this is? Because the caption of this TikTok, the girl said, by the way, it's blank. Guess the time. In your head, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. Think about what time that this could be. It's 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m., you told your roommate being too loud, trying to sleep. Look how close. I thought there was going to be a wall between you and like you were hearing her TV from the other room. She's right next to you. Guys, I don't even think you understand the anger that would fuel inside
That's not mine.
Someone wants to cook, then how to cook it?
It's not mine. Oh, you mean the tray?
The whole tray.
Oh, the tray. Yeah, because
iron pot.
it's hot. So, and the iron pot is also hot. So I can't clean it right now when it's hot.
So if someone wants to cook something,
It's hot. It'll cool off in a second.
then we should not cook and we should not eat. If
Yeah,
someone
okay, I'll
wants to
move
cook
it.
something.
If I want to use the microwave, what am I supposed to do? Make it stinky? Make my food gross?
This is gross. You don't feel this is gross.
That's not mine.
Microwave because I make chicken now. What I cook also you have problem.
It
No,
stinks.
what I eat, what I
It
cook, you
smells.
have problem.
Look at it. It's messy, guys. Look at
Oh.
it. There's mess everywhere. Would you
Oh,
cook in this?
seriously.
It's gross.
This is not gross. This is also this is messy.
Because
Stinky.
you had this full.
This is all stinky.
No, you had.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine fighting with someone like that. Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know who's in the right or who's in the wrong or whatever. That microwave does need a clean. Sure. I understand not washing your dishes while they're hot. You want them to cool down and then wash your dishes. The comment says, I low-key believe this guy has just crossed boundaries a million times with his horrible roommate. There's two sides to every story. It just seems like they're both on each other's cases about cleaning and this and that. So, which also is just stressful in itself. It's not even about who's right or wrong. It's, I don't want to fight with you every day.
So I'm moving out, and I'm going to live with my boyfriend soon, and his friends. But a reason I'm also just thinking about, just roommate life with girls. They will shame you about what you're eating, and also if you go to the gym or not. Like my current roommates don't do this, but like I've had multiple roommates that have done this in the past, and they'll be like gym rats, and they just won't leave you alone.
Would you say
about
that
how
I'm
much you
sympathetic
don't go to the
person?
gym or what you eat in the pantry. I literally, when I tell you, I was
Sympathetic.
waiting for my lease to be up just because some of the girls that I've lived with are so toxic, and you just should not be dealing with that. Like, yes, that's kind of how that happens with like either girls that you know
I
or girls
guess
that
kind.
don't know. But like this was ridiculous. I hope no one has to deal with that.
Yeah, kind to others.
I also hope no one has to deal with that. No one
Care
should be
for
doing that.
others, that
Roommate, friend,
whole
stranger,
thing.
no one. A lot of people would consider me a gym rat because I work out all the time. I'm a very active person. Health and fitness is a big part of my life. A lot of people would look at me and say, oh, gym rat. I would never do that. Why do I care? I've had roommates who didn't work out, who ate very differently than me. It's not my business what you put in your body and what you do with your body. Why do I care? It doesn't affect my routine or my life.
Here's some dishes. Examples for you guys. So,
always dishes, man.
We're just gonna go through. That's what she uses to, up at the top, up here. That's what she uses to clean
But yeah, there's a YouTuber doing autism tests, so just watching that. And that was the first question. I can go through all the questions.
This time, oh, there's my stuff. There's my strainer.
It just says true now when I was a young adult, or true only now, true only when I was younger than 16, or never.
I don't know what they're called. They're in there. That's my stuff. That was like that for 4 days. And I couldn't use the sink because we have a handicap sink, so ours is shallower. So I couldn't use the sink
I mean,
to do anything. This is what the drying rack looks like at all times. She never once has ever had it empty. It always looks like that. And her dishes
I
are
often
never
use words and phrases from movies and television in conversation. I do.
And by the silverware in there,
sometimes.
I mean Maddie and I's, not even hers. Like, she didn't even bring silverware.
I do quite a lot. I was gonna say
the biggest thing that roommates fight about. It's gotta be mess, dishes, or if you're sharing things or not sharing things, them using things that are
like whenever anyone normally says hello there, or just hello, I normally have to go general Kenobi.
When you had a shitty roommate who did
yeah, styles are like that.
Who
Like,
didn't come back and fix their mistakes, and now you're left to
I do
clean
like
it,
acting,
and
so
nothing
that's,
is saving the
you know.
Oh my gosh.
good for me. So that that would be true now. I know from when I was younger. It'll always be weird.
Oh no, those
Tell me
hooks
I
are
have
the
been
worst.
rude.
You gotta be so
Never
careful
tells
with
me
those
I'm
hooks to
rude.
make sure that they don't rip off the paint. Or you do what you're supposed to do and you
So
have to patch up the wall. I don't know though.
never.
That's
That
gotta
would
be in your
be.
contract. In my condo contract, it is. Like if I, hang things and there's holes in the wall, like if I move out, I
I
have
would
to
be
patch that up.
surprised if
Or
they
if I
said I
paint
was
it, I have to
rude
paint
either.
back to like the neutral
I
color.
mean, it would
Usually
never
that's
really
in
happen.
the lease,
So
but I
yeah,
guess
still
if you're
no.
like splitting the lease and who knows what the situation is, but those were so many hooks. What was hanging on all those hooks? Roommate calls fire department on us for small backyard fire.
That was pretty good.
Sir Lancelot called the fire department. Ruined our fire.
The firefighters had to watch us put it out.
Oh, I knew it was gonna be the
So
city
they
one.
couldn't ruin our beach fireworks. Yeah, am I tripping? Or is that guy the same guy in the video of the microwave and the dishes? Also, if it's illegal to have fires in the backyard, like, I understand roommate could be cool and could be chill and let you do it, but also,
Sometimes
it's
I
1
talk
a.m. and
too
my roommate
loudly
just
or too
randomly turned on the
softly,
lights and
and I'm
started
not
watching
aware of
YouTube.
it.
Well, I hope they're watching me. I'm just kidding.
I know. I know if I don't know the person, I will talk quieter, or if I'm around too many people, I tend to definitely be way quiet.
Little giggle. No, man. Dorm life is probably a whole other world. I never lived in a dorm, but just looking at the size of that room,
I know
having
that you're only
4
quiet
that
around
was
me
way
when
compared
you're
to other ones I've
embellished.
seen. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Worst roommate ever. Dude always has his alarms on full blast
Yeah,
on his
most of the
speaker.
time you're just
He
hiding
set
yourself
up
in
a
Google.
A
Why I
trap?
can't
What
mew
does that
mew.
even mean? Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's a fire alarm.
Kidding me right now.
Yeah.
Curse, bro.
He doesn't wake up to that?
Come on, bro.
I often don't know how to act in social situations.
What? No
Yes.
way. That is the worst sound ever.
I don't know what
Fire
most
alarm
of
in
the,
school,
especially if I'm
and you're
around
sleeping
someone.
through that? And
Even
who
if
the
it's
hell
Bailey,
wants to do
I
math
don't
to turn
know
it off? Oh my God, that's
what
nightmare.
I'm supposed to
Maybe
do.
his way is like, I have to wake up and I'll get out of bed because in order to turn it off, I gotta use my
Apparently.
brain to do the math, so I have no choice but to get up. So maybe it'll help him, but clearly it ain't working because he is snoozing through that whole thing. POV, you're just trying to study.
Yeah.
Your roommates are going to quit.
You're supposed to know how to act in
Roommates.
social
We have
situations.
multiple people living here.
Have you ever
Would you like to
thought
watch
about
the
actually
YouTube with
getting
me? That way
TikTok
you
instead
can
of your
grade
dumb
yourself
YouTube
as well.
shorts?
Okay, but have you ever actually thought of cleaning up after yourself?
Have you ever thought about contributing towards stupid utilities?
I mean, I can go through it again. Ready? Alright, so yeah, that's the question. Sympathetic is meaning, care for someone. Yeah. That was... if that was true when you was younger and now, then that'd be the first one. I mean, if you wanted to, we can just do the test. Alright.